Yes, I was in Taiwan, and Taiwan was being opened up to the Lord, and China had already fallen. And so I was called to sit with Dawson Trotman and Dick Hillis, who is the founder of Overseas Crusade, and Jim Dixon, who represented the Presbyterian Church and invited the missionaries to come. And so on Christmas Day, by a fireside, there were four of us sitting by the fireside. They're talking about the future, and Dick Hillis had permission to go to every military camp with the permission of Generalissimo Chiang Kai-shek, had wrote a letter commending that every soldier will read the Bible and have a chance to hear the gospel. And so Dick Hillis went with gospel teams into the church camps, and they had something like 5,000 or 6,000 decisions for Christ. His own thick paper, Chinese paper. So they had these 6,000 decisions for Christ, and they put them in a stack, and it reached from the floor up to the ceiling. And so Dawson Trotman and in Dawson Trotman, he said, we need follow-up on these 6,000 people for Christ. And so, Roy, you do something to have a follow-up system for these people. So I talked to Doss a little break. I said, Dawson, we do work one-on-one. We don't work with hundreds and thousands. And you get to the person right after he comes to Christ. And these are all kinds of decisions. And they've had time to, a stack of people. And, well, this is not the kind of work that we do, to do this kind of a thing. And Doss looked at me, said, Roy, you do what you can. So I went back into the room and said, what are you going to do? Oh, yes, we'll do what we can. 6,000 decisions, and they're several weeks old. They're soldiers, and this Gospel of John, and never heard the gospel before, and follow up on them. We'll do what we can. So we wrote a simple Bible study, about 15 questions, all on the Gospel of John, and sent it to these 6,000 soldiers that have made decisions for Christ. We hope we get 5%, or a few come in, and we got a post office box. And a few days later, the post office calls us, come quickly. It's flooded with mail. We can't get any more replies back in. And 2,000 soldiers filled in this 15-question Bible study and sent it back. And so the words, well, you can't do everything, Roy. Do what you can. There's hundreds. Oh, I can't do this. Well, do what you can. You can do something. Do what you can. And so whatever the task, and I've never, ever in my life said no to the Navigators, whether Dawson Trotman, whether Lawrence Sanney, whether any job that the Navigators have ever asked me to do. I've never said, no, I can't do it. I've always thought, do what you can.